Let's compare the ISOs on the Sony A7V, the Sony FX2, and the Sony FX3. Let's see how each of these cameras perform in a low light test. Each camera has the same set of Vision Prime lens series, though they are each different focal lengths. So on the FX3, we have the 50, we have the 24 on the FX2, and the 35 on the A7V. For our subject, we have Shamika. She is a dummy, and we will be using her to compare the ISOs on all these cameras. Did I make a mistake by getting the FX2? Should I have just gotten this? Is this better than all of these cameras? Let's talk about it and let's get into the test. Currently, each of the cameras are at 24 frames per second or 23.98. A shutter, let's make sure they're all at 1/50. Boom, that's the same on all the cameras. And let's also make sure they have the same ISO. We're at ISO 500 and a white balance of 52. ISO 500, white balance of 52. ISO 500, white balance of 52. So all of these are locked in at the same point, and I'm going to record a clip and then log that as the first clip. To keep track of the ISO, I'm going to put this slate on camera, saying the ISO that I'm using. So right now we're going to start out with 500 and we'll just keep increasing it from there. So I'm going to roll on each of the cameras, roll, 500 ISO on Shamika. So these are what all the cameras look like. 500 ISO. Make sure all of them are in focus because we are using a manual lens. Everything is looking good. Everything is looking sharp. Probably, there we go. All right, so we have 500 ISO on each of the cameras rolling, and that's what the 500 is. All right, let's go to the next increment. Next ISO is 1000, and the aperture light is still at 20%, and each of the lenses are at f1.4. All right, so let's see what 1000 looks like. And roll. We are at 1000 mark. This is what 1000 looks like. Out the gate, the A7V looks the brightest, honestly, at least on the screen. I could be deceived by that. Interesting. All right, let's cut on each. All right, so now let's cut the aperture light from 20% to something a lot lower. I don't know exactly what, but let's just make it lower. So we're at 20% now. How about we go to, yeah, let's do it, 5%. So that is the light at 5%. And this is what the space is looking like on the Osmo Pocket 3. I feel like I should just go lower. Like, why even have light, right? Ooh, that is 0. We don't want to do 0. So this is 1%. Let's go with 1% and go from there. All right, let's keep going. For this next portion, I'm gonna cut the lights completely, right? And I am going to open up the curtain to my office, but I want the lighting to be somewhat, so you know what, scrap the office, and I'm just gonna turn on a hallway light much further away and introduce some light that way. I really just want to give it as minimal light as possible and see how the cameras hold up and compare. All right, so we were at 2000 before. Let's just go all the way to, let's just make a jump. Let's go to 32. Let's go to 32 here, and let's go to 32. All right, the FX3 looks a lot browner than the others. The temperature is set for this light. Yeah, the temperature is going to be a little bit wonky, but we'll just ignore that just to keep everything consistent. All right, so we are at 32. All right, here we go. Let's test this out. 3200 with the hallway lights. Just want to play with different lighting scenarios and see where we end up. All right, here we go. 3200 mark. All right, this is what it's looking like. They're all at 52, 3200 for the ISO. Let's just really up it. Let's go to 10,000 here. Let's go to 10,000 here. Would it be horrible if I changed the white balance? I don't know how bad it would be, but we'll keep everything at 52. Ignore the warmth. All right, so we're at 10,000 ISO mark. And here we go. 10,000 ISO, mark. Okay. Again, f1.4, 1/50, 24 frames, ISO of 10,000, white balance temperature of 5,200. So all the images are quite warm. I may change that in a minute, but this is what the cameras are looking like. All right, let's cut. 1, 2, 3. Okay, for the white balance temperature now, I'm changing the balance on all the cameras to 3000. Yeah, 3000 white balance, and we're at 10,000 for the ISO. Let's go to 12,800 and 12,800 and 12,800 with a white balance of 3000, hallway light, mark. 12,800, mark. Wow, I should roll on here first. Roll. 12,800, mark. All right, great. Testing. Again, the A7V is looking very, very sharp. FX2 is also looking good. I feel like the FX2 and the A7V, the monitors match better. And I feel like the FX3, the monitor just looks a bit more brown. But we have that nice bokeh in the background because we are at the 50mm mark. So I may want to even try a lens swap at one point. I really want to see if the color temperature will change at all. All right, let's cut. Here we go. All right, so one quick thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch the lens on the FX2 and the FX3. So I'm gonna put the 50 on the FX2 and the 24 on the FX3. All right, let's see where we're at. One thing I do love about the FX2 is that I can look into the viewfinder and turn on peaking and set the focus here. So I feel much better about the viewfinder. That feels really good. I wonder if I just jacked up the test by changing the lens. I may have. Why does it feel way tighter on the FX2? I now need to double check my settings. So for this test, we have the A7V with the 24mm, the FX2 with the 50mm, and the FX3 with the 35mm, each at 12,800 ISO and a white balance temperature of 3000. Let's record. Rolling. 12,800 mark. Everyone's white balance is at 3000. The A7V has the 24mm on it. The FX2 has the 50mm, and the FX3 has the 35. But I need to put the ISO back up to 12,800 on that. All right. Yes, the FX3 has the 35. All right, so this is 12,800 on each. Looking at just the on-camera monitor, the A7V looks the sharpest. the FX2 looks the most like balanced, and the FX3 has a really, really warm skin tone. At least that's what the monitor on screen is giving. All right, cut. All right, now let's bump it up to, let's just do something crazy. Let's do 51,200, and we'll do the same thing over here. Just do something crazy. This one doesn't even go. Oh, dynamic. Ah, that's why it was so zoomed in. Dynamic active was on. Well, there we go. All right, let's go to 51,200. I knew it was zoomed in. I knew it. I just didn't know what the heck I was doing. 51,200. And let's see, looking at histograms. All right. So definitely the FX3 has the larger histogram on the right-hand side, but the A7V looks like the most balanced histogram, which is interesting. So we are at 51,200. All right, and let's see what we got. Let's record. All right, rolling. 51,200 mark. All right, so these are what all the cameras are looking like. White balance 3,000, 51,200. A7V has the 24, FX2 has the 50, FX3 has the 35, and I crazily had dynamic active activated on the FX2, hence why I was so punched in, and hence why I was just like so confused. All right, so let's cut so we can see that. What's the highest ISO on here? It looks like you can go up to 102,000. I mean, I don't know why you would, but it has the lines on it. This can go up to that same amount, and the FX3 can do that, but it doesn't have the lines on it. Interesting. The other ones have the line on it. All right, so now let's put that in here. We have 102,400 for the ISO. All right, and let's roll on each. 102,400 ISO mark. Okay, and then let me just show you what I'm seeing on the cameras in terms of like the histogram and whatnot. So this has the line by the ISO, and that's with the histogram. This one also has the lines over the ISO. This is the FX2. That's what the histogram is looking like. And as you can see, I feel like the FX3 has more on the right-hand side. And as you can see, there are no lines over the ISO readout. And this is the FX3. So yeah, we'll check these out. Let's cut. All right. So this maxes out at 102,000 for the ISO. So does the FX2, maxes out there. But the FX3 can go all the way up to, holy cow, 409,600. I'll just record a small snippet for 109,600. That's insane. The amount of light that lets in, that's pretty crazy. Okay, so lastly, real quick, because I did have dynamic active on the FX2, like a genius, let's just go back to a reasonable ISO to compare them all at. Let's just do 4,000 and see where we get with 4,000 on each of these cameras. Oops, cool, 4,000, make sure everything is wide open. I didn't set up any hotkeys for the A7V yet, so I'm using the touchscreen. 4,000, okay, great. All right, so let's do one more recording at 4,000 and then turn the lights back on. So So this one is gonna be 4,000 for the ISO. We're still at 3,000 for the white balance. It's gonna be 4,000, and let's roll on each. Rolling, rolling, and rolling. 4,000 ISO mark, 3,000 white balance, and yeah, we'll just see how this looks. The image is looking very clean. It looks really good on the A7V. I'm not gonna lie, the separation from the background is quite prominent. Interesting. Okay, and let's cut, and let's get a little bit of light back in here. I think the last thing I'll do is I'll do a quick test putting this to putting each camera in log. Let's see what the rough white balance temperature is over here. It's giving like 52 because that is dialed into 5,500, so that makes sense. So I'm going to turn down the light to about 1%, and I'm gonna cut the hallway light. All right, so we just have 1% aperture light, and I'm going to dial in the white balance of 5,000. I'm just gonna do that for each one. White balance 5,000. I will say I do like having dedicated white balance button on the FX line. I'm sure I could program something here, but I do like those specific buttons. Let's see, 5,000. All right, so all are at 5,000, and the ISO is 800. So let's put that on our slate. 800, done. All right, and let's roll. 800 ISO, Cine EI, mark, all on sort of the low ISO mode. And you know, on set, you're gonna more than likely be able to have way more light than this, but there are instances where I'm filming like in a recording studio or album release party and the lighting is quite low. So this will give us a good sense. Right now we're gonna go to 2000. I should also state that I am in Cinetone PP11 for each of the cameras. 2000 ISO, f1.4, mark, 1% of the aperture light. 2000 ISO, mark. Alrighty, so we're gonna let that record. Even looking at the histogram, the A7V looks like it's, I don't know, it looks like it's letting in a bit more light, but it could be that it's like slightly closer to the subject because of the 35mm on it, and the FX3 is actually the furthest away. But that is what the histogram is giving. That's what the histogram is giving, and that is what the histogram is giving. All right, let's cut. All right, so there you have it, folks. We will see in post. I don't know that I'm gonna record something after ingesting everything to then go back. So here are the results. I am the Chef Gal, and you just got the recipe.